Ever since I was younger, I knew I wanted to change the world. I knew that I wanted to do something to contribute, and I wanted to leave a legacy. Now I understand that even if I help just one family, like I've done something, I've contributed in some way. So now that we're getting closer to your due date, we want to kind of go over again how you want your birth process to look like, and we want to have a really good plan so that Mo can help facilitate that. Okay, and so this is something I'll give you a copy of, and then you'll make sure to give it to your healthcare provider. Having a baby is a very momentous time in a woman's life, and she's gonna feel a rush of emotions, and my job is to really be there to be sort of an anchor for her. One of the first growing pains I had when I became a doula was actually believing in myself. That was hard because I'd never seen myself in the role as a doula, and all of a sudden here I am helping this woman, and I've now transitioned into sort of this maternal figure for her. So my first birth really set the stage for me because the baby was almost born in a car. So this woman was having her first baby, and it was a rapid birth. And I remember my heart beating really, really fast, but not letting any of that appear on my face. And I remember that her mother-in-law was in the car, and she was like, "We have to call the ambulance, we have to call the ambulance." And I just said to her, "She's in control, she knows what to do," and we just focused on breathing. She held my hand very tight, and before we knew it, we were at the hospital, and within just a few minutes, I mean, I'm talking like 3 or 4 minutes of getting there, the baby was born. A lot of times in different communities, whether it's the Muslim community or most recently I was at a Sikh birth, they don't really understand what a doula is. And I always have to educate and sort of inform them that, well, I'm trained support. And so while you're having your mom and sister there is great, I'm actually the only neutral, sort of unbiased person that's not attached to the woman in any way. And so I can really bring like sound reasoning without my emotions getting in the way. And I think that's so important when you have trained support to be able to sort of separate that love. Because I still bring it, and I still bring that love, but I also bring with me like wisdom and resources and knowledge. And so much of what doulas do is healing work at so many different levels. So I really love caring for my clients during the postpartum period because I just feel like it's one of the best ways to serve a woman in her lifetime. Sometimes the babies come out in a very stressed state, or sometimes they're not breathing. There's also stillbirths. So this is the harder part of my work, but I've learned to still see the beauty even in those births and in those moments, and try to hold on to that because otherwise births can feel very heavy. And it's not uncommon for me to come home after delivery, especially a rough one, or especially one where a baby doesn't make it, and feel extremely heavy for days because I feel like I was part of nurturing that baby since it was in the womb. And to have it not make it and to have it not survive, you really feel heavy. So of course there's always a reason and a purpose behind why individuals choose to do, the work that they do. And for myself, the greater purpose behind doula work is actually the generation of children that I'm helping come into the world. And I see so much of my work as a legacy for myself and for the families that I get to be a part of.